Hey y'all, it's Danielle from Black Business Boom and Booming University. I am so excited. It has been a while since I've been here. Y'all may or may not know I had back surgery about 7 weeks ago. So I'm on the mend, and thanks to everybody who's been praying for me and sending me meals and all the things. But I am live today. I'm excited to have a special guest that brought me kind of out of retirement for this conversation. Really excited to have Angela Wynn, who's running for Senate, a Black woman running for Senate here in District 13, Rutherford County in Tennessee, the Murfreesboro area. So tune in, everyone. We're going to be talking small business. Of course, that's near and dear to my heart. And I actually met Angela on the board of NBIC, so I know it's near and dear to her heart as well. Hey, Angela, how are you?
Hey girl, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm excited about this. I am excited for you just setting out on this journey. Like, what made you decide? I mean, this is a very big deal. What made you decide to run?
I, as you know, have done a lot of work in the public school realm, and I thought that my journey was going to be school board, but now that I've kind of expanded on the things that I'm passionate about in our communities, besides public schools, healthcare access, maternal health, things like that. I really felt like state senate would be a great way for me to be able to make the best change across all of those avenues. I also knew that this seat was not being contested. And based on my experience, I believe that Rutherford County deserves better representation.
I love that. And I thought I was tripping because I ran into you in December and you said school board. I thought, and then all of a sudden I was like, I could have sworn she said she was running for the school board. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Good to know I'm not crazy. That is amazing though. So we said we wanted to talk a little bit about small business,
Yes.
and it's what I am seeing right now. I've had this conversation several times this week. It feels like small businesses are really challenged right now. Um, a lot of our work over the last 7, 8 years has been about the growth of small businesses.
Hmm.
But it feels like lately we're more in like, how do we help them survive? How do we sustain and just help people to keep their doors open because of all the challenges that these small businesses are facing? So I would love to hear your thoughts, your plans for small businesses, and really just helping with the survival, and the sustainability of local small businesses.
Yeah, that's one thing that I love about Rutherford County is how many small businesses and family-owned businesses that are here. And the thing I think hurts the most is seeing the state kind of cater to those larger corporations through tax benefits and things of that nature. And while I think it's great that there are large corporations that want to come here and be based in Tennessee, specifically Nashville, I don't think that they are providing back what they should in exchange for the benefits that they're getting. I truly believe that we need to invest more in our small business owners. I think that we should invest more in resources for people who want to start and grow a business. I think NBIC has a really great program, and I think that that's something that should be done just across the board for business owners in every county in this state. I also believe that if big corporations are taking advantage of tax relief, then that's something that our small business owners should absolutely be able to take advantage of too, because it's hard out here, right? Especially when it comes to raising prices and things like that. Folks want to be able to spend their dollar in their neighborhood. And right now, with the focus on big business, that's just not happening. So I'd really like to get back to being able to providing those opportunities for those who not only want to sustain their small business, but actually start one and help it grow.
I love it. And I absolutely agree. Yeah, that's something I've said for years that, there's a lot of energy put into bringing large businesses here, Oracle, Starbucks, all which is exciting. And, economic development is certainly important. But our small businesses are a large part of economic development. And I actually recently took a course on economic development through small businesses and retention being a really big part of that. So it there is data to back that up, that small businesses, our local businesses, are important to our economy. They provide jobs. I mean, there's so many things that they do to stimulate the economy. Now, you have been out there, boots on the ground for years, I mean, not just since you've been running, but involved with, TSU and I mean, so many ways in the community. What are you hearing from the small business owners? What are you hearing their challenges, or what are you, even on the positive side, things that are going well for them? I'm just curious for folks to hear from you. What are you hearing from the local small businesses?
Yeah, I feel like everybody, whether you're a small business owner or not, has pretty much the same issue, and that is the costs of things rising in this country. And that definitely affects, small business owners, because most of the time these small business owners are making enough to sustain their lifestyle, right? A lot of times, small business owners get into the business not to become rich, but to be able to provide some sort of income to support their family. And I really think that we need to focus on being able to nurture small business owners in that way. I also feel like when it comes to being able to hire people, that we do need to provide more resources for workforce development, so that our small business owners have access to a great pool of people that they can pick from to be able to come in and help them with their businesses. And I really think that that's the biggest thing, right? Their ability to be able to afford to keep their doors open, their ability to be able to get help without having to be, smothered in unnecessary paperwork, their ability to be able to do whatever they need to do without having so much red tape to cut through. I really think the way that we approach those larger corporations are really the way that we need to promote our small business owners. Because it's like you said, owning a business in this country is what builds this country, is the fabric of our country, right? This whole idea of trickle down economics does not work when it comes to big time corporations. It's always the small business owners that are the ones carrying the weight.
Yeah, I mean, I have really, a message that I've tried to get across is when we are looking to bring these large businesses to the area, how does government play a part in ensuring that they are giving back? And what does that look like? Is that supplier diversity? What does that look like to make sure that they are in relationship with the local business owners? I mean, I have had the pleasure of working with several large organizations and helping them with their supplier diversity programs, helping them to ensure that they're using Black businesses, women owned businesses, minority businesses in general.
Yeah.
But now it feels like we're moving further away from that. A lot of the folks that I worked with in 2022, 2023, even 2024 started to change the names of their departments
Yeah.
from supplier diversity to inclusive sourcing. And we've seen a lot of things that were protections or a kind of a leg up for small business owners that still kind of put them at sustainability. Like they weren't
Yeah.
scaling in a lot of cases. It wasn't like they were just like out here balling and, making all this money, but they felt some comfort. And now we're seeing a lot of those things have gone away in the last 2 years. On that note, are there any particular policies that you think you would want to bring to the area? Anything that you've seen that maybe worked elsewhere or is a need and it's on a policy level versus, kind of that level of the corporate involvement. This is something a fight that has to be fought on the policy level in government.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked me that question. I recently sat down with the Carpenters Union a few weeks ago, and one of their biggest concerns was their ability to be able to get contracts and be able to hire people that are actually in the community to help, get through that contract. Unfortunately, we have general contractors who not only do not hire locally as they should, but they'll pay people under the table, which means that whatever funds they are getting, it's not being offset by them actually paying the employees what they should be paid. The other thing is that large gap when it comes to those who are in the industry that are about to retire and those that would be coming in to fill in that gap. Unfortunately, we do not have enough people that are going into the trades as we used to. And I think that's mostly because high schools used to prepare you for either going to college or going into some sort of trade. And we've gotten away from that, right? Where is home ec? Right? Where are the business finance classes? Like I remember learning how to write a check when I was in school. Those things just aren't taught anymore. So if we're able to, number one, help create policies that keep these general contractors from continuing to take advantage of the resources that they're provided because they're not actually giving back to the community as they should, and also pushing to have more trades introduced in high school so when kids graduate they're ready to transition into a paid apprenticeship that teaches them how on the job how to work, but also while they're earning a living and within a certain period of time, they also have access to healthcare. Not all of our kids are going to be college bound, especially with the cost of schools right now. My son got into every school in Tennessee, but the money wasn't there. So he's taking advantage of the Hope Scholarship, going to Montvale State College. But my other son, who's getting ready to graduate next year, college just is not for him. He would prefer to go into a trade, and that's because mom says, if you want to go into a trade, that's what you can do. But not everybody understands how that process works. So really being able to help our local unions, because a lot of them are small business owners, helping them to be able to be profitable and also be able to give back to the community that they're actually based in.
Love it. Last question, I think. Don't hold me to it, but I mean, we've talked a lot about affordability. I mean, we're all feeling it.
Yes.
I looked up and was like, wait, hold on now. Like, I feel like
Yes.
I, I'm one of those people who just like it costs however much it costs, and I'm just paying the cost. And a few months ago, I had to be like, wait, my grocery bill, wait, like this is crazy. Like, and I don't usually freak out over cost. I'm just like, I pay it. But it's I can't even imagine how some people are making it, and some people just really are not.
Yeah.
And for small business owners, they're seeing in the last year and a half, they've had to fight tariffs and try to navigate a tariff, the pay repayment plan or whatever that the tariff thing that they rolled out a few months ago to try to
Mhm.
get some of their money back if they were affected. I mean, the rising cost of gas, of groceries, all of these things. But one of the biggest things that I'm hearing from small business owners is the affordability of commercial real estate,
Uh,
especially in this area. I mean, there are people who want to go into brick and mortars and just absolutely cannot afford to, while we're seeing people who have actually been displaced, and we're seeing, we couldn't renew our lease,
yeah.
all this is crazy. So any thoughts or plans around commercial real estate affordability for small business owners?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about affordability, you are right. It does happen on not just the residential side, but the commercial side. And I really think that that comes from the folks who are owning these buildings being a little bit too frivolous in how much they're charging folks for leases. I truly believe that when a small business gets into a lease with a commercial property, that there should be some sort of thing sitting in place that means that that next month their rent is not going to double or triple, because that's what's happening. That's why these small businesses are closing and moving. It's not because it's just some sort of small hike. It is a very, very drastic change in what they were used to being able to afford. So my thing is, as long as we can continue to protect the small business owners from having to deal with high costs that comes with being stuck in a building that will not allow them the affordability to stay there, I really think that we need to put policy around that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel as though it's absolutely a policy issue. It's, it's price gouging. It's crazy right now. And we're losing some of our favorite businesses are going out of business.
Favorite places, yes. And the
Yeah.
other thing, and one more thing too, another thing that I notice about small business owners is their concern about healthcare and their inability to be able to afford the health care that they had through the Affordable Health Care Act. That's one thing that I have really been laser focused on, especially in Rutherford County, where a lot of our rural neighbors do not have actual good health care access. Right, we have all these for-profit, urgent care centers going up, and we don't have enough doctors and family practitioners in that area to be able to serve that community. So that's another thing that I've been looking into a lot. I know Rutherford County just released their community health plan, and a lot of that is hinging on making sure that people actually have access to health care. So that's another thing that I really want to be focused on. I know Medicaid for all is the goal. I know that that's not going to happen as soon as I get into office. So I want to be able to work with the resources that we already have using programs that actually will come in to rural areas with a volunteer team of different types of specialists where you can come as a one-stop shop, not to just, go in because you hurt yourself and you need something, but to go get your blood pressure checked, right? To get seen by a cardiologist, a neurologist. I know so many of our seniors are in early stage dementia, but aren't able to be able to get the help that they need because nobody has the ability to access adequate health care. So that's another thing that I am very, very
Huge
passionate
issue.
about. Mhm.
No, I mean, that's that is so important to so many that, especially when we talk about minority business owners, that many of them are having to stay in the 9 to 5 job because of the benefits, because of the healthcare benefits. As soon as I got married, I was like, let me get on that insurance. Like I could not wait, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
for my husband's insurance.
yeah,
Because even with, the marketplace, it was still fairly expensive. But now people have seen these drastic increases in their rates. And I mean, it stops you from having the access to the insurance, which stops you from getting care when you might really need it because you can't afford a $30,000 bill for going to the ER, and now they've had to do a CAT scan and an MRI, and now you get this bill and you got to file bankruptcy. Like it's terrible. So that is a huge challenge for so many small business owners. They don't have the access to the health care that they need, and a lot of it is because of insurance issues. So thank you so much for mentioning that.
yeah.
Before we wrap up, Angela, anything else you want to make sure that you let the people know before we wrap up today?
Yeah. So one thing I always hear is, I don't do politics. I don't like politicians. And what I like to tell folks is, yes, I am running for a political office, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a politician. I call myself more of a lobbyist because of what a lobbyist does, right? They take the concerns of the people that have hired them and make sure that their needs get met, and that's something that I really want to be able to do for Rutherford County. I'm not just asking for a vote. I'm asking for confidence in being able to meet the needs of my constituents. And somebody asked me, what happens if you don't win? And for me, the work doesn't stop. Whether I'm in this office or not, all of the things that I say that I want to do, all of the people that I have been in contact with, I still want to be able to push that work forward, whether I am in office or not. But for me, I'd rather be in the room with those folks, making sure that decisions are being made in the best interest of my constituents instead of hiding from them because you don't want to hear about what their needs are.
I love it. That is fantastic. And I am truly, again, just so proud of you for doing this. It takes a lot. And I mean, I live in Rutherford County, so I mean, as a black woman,
Sure,
it takes a
sure,
to step
sure.
up
Yeah,
and even try at Rutherford. I think it is up to all of us that are out here to show up and try our best to get you in that seat.
yeah,
We
yeah,
have to get behind you. So if you are tuned in and you're in District 13, let's make sure that you're showing up next month, August 5th.
So August 6th is going to be the primary election along with our local elections. And what I tell folks is your local elections are far more important than when we're talking about congressional races, because those are the people that directly affect your every day. So what I would tell folks, because I'm not being primaried myself, so my name will not be on the ballot on August 6th. I am the candidate, thank goodness, for District 13. So my election will be in November 3rd. But what I tell folks is, please find a local candidate that you vibe with, someone whose mission you believe in, and do something to help that person get elected. Right? It can be as small as donating $10 on a recurring basis to their campaign. It could be helping with text banking or phone banking. I know people don't like to knock doors, but we don't just need people out there knocking doors. We need people that are in the car keeping the air conditioning running, so that when we do have to go from one place to the other, we all have a cool place to take a break. So please make sure that you are getting out to vote on August 6th, especially for Rutherford County. We have a lot of great people on the ballot that are blue who are ready to do the work for you. And then once general election hits, be ready, because I will have a even more big team of folks that'll be out there advocating for me in my campaign.
I love it. Thank you so, so much for joining me today, Angela. Again, so proud of you. Can't wait to see you win in November. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a fantastic evening.